Everyone in Seth's group is talking, and a new awkward conversation is beginning. We'll also see what's happening with Roman Reigns, Bayley, and other celebrities. Beginning with everything pertaining to the matchup between Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker and Roman Reigns and Jay. When Paul Heyman interrupted Jay, he immediately tried to mentally sever Roman and Jay's relationship. Heyman brought up the complex history between Roman and Jay, reminding out that despite having Jay as his right-hand man, Roman never truly trusted Jay. For this reason, Roman put Solo rather than Jay as the next in line to become the tribal head. Paul Heyman is undoubtedly playing some mind games there. Heyman was also present and intimately involved in everything that was always going on with the bloodline. Heyman is fully aware of the numerous terrible events that Jay has endured in recent years. Additionally, Heyman is currently attempting to influence the newly established unity between Jay and Roman by using those horrific events as a weapon to get inside Jay's head prior to SummerSlam. Paul Heyman had a brilliant idea, but it ultimately fell through. Jay dismissed what Paul Heyman had said and refused to allow Heyman to influence him. As a result, a new strategy had to be developed. Backstage, Bronson Reed was being hyped up by Bron Breakker and Paul Heyman for his bout against Jay later that evening. Bronson left with assurance and prepared for the match. He tells Heyman how well everything went and that he has a plan for later in the evening, but the camera goes away before we can hear the specifics of his plan. In any event, this backstage scene was crucial because, without Seth, it appears that Bron Breakker is the one making all of the decisions. It was suggested that Bron was involved in preparing the entire hype speech for Bronson Reed. Naturally, he then went on to discuss the other scheme he was developing there. Bron Breakker had a great appearance and presentation. He was truly stepping up at this week's Raw. And we saw exactly what Bron's plan was at the big event later that evening. During the main event, Bron Breakker dashed out to throw Jay onto the entry ramp. After a while, Roman Reigns came out to make the save, giving Jay and himself the advantage. However, it didn't last long since Bron Reed and Bron Breakker ultimately took back the advantage and completely destroyed Roman and Jay. At one point, Bron Breakker even positioned himself above Roman and began discussing how he owned the cameraman, the ropes, the ring, and this enterprise, and how not Roman, but everyone in the arena, came to witness him. Bron Breakker used these scathing remarks to parody a well-known 2022 promo from Roman Reigns, in which Roman claimed that everything in the business was his. Now, 3 years later, Bron Breakker is telling Roman the same things over and over again, letting him know that they are no longer Romans. After making a kind of subtle allusion to that well-known Roman advertisement from a few years prior, Bron Breakker leads Roman and Jay into the Timekeeper's domain. Bronson Reed practically tears the sneakers from Roman's feet and declares that they are now his. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more personal. To end the performance, Heyman, Bronson, and Bron posed in the middle of the ring. For the last picture, Bronson Reed even had Roman's 2 sneakers in his hands. As everyone is aware, seeming extremely powerful in the final performance before a major event typically indicates that you will lose your match at the event. Thus, the manner in which this segment transpired on July 28 essentially verified that Roman and Jay would prevail at SummerSlam. Nevertheless, the performance by Bronson Reed, Bron Breakker, and Paul Heyman during this week's Raw left fans completely in awe. Everybody has been pleading for the group to do something intriguing since it was founded in April. However, we received nothing at all from Seth's group for almost 4 months. They have only been a group for 4 months, and they still don't have an official name. Fans were asking if the group was a mistake to bring together and why there was no flow or chemistry at all, but that had all changed in recent weeks. It was just one red flag after another, and things weren't looking good at all. It feels like the dogs were let loose, so to speak. When Seth Rollins was taken out of the picture, Bron Reed and Bron Breakker are wreaking havoc, and Paul Heyman is there as their strategist and wise man. The group began to click in ways that fans have been waiting a long time to see. The group feels fantastic and is finally connecting. The group is now exhibiting some synergy that you can truly sense, and we're witnessing something intriguing happen. And given how well this group has performed in the last few weeks without Seth Rollins, people are beginning to have awkward conversations about whether or not Seth Rollins was the group's constant issue. Many fans are expressing on the internet that this trio feels and looks so much better without Seth Rollins in it. During their 4 months together, this group and Seth went absolutely nowhere, but once he leaves for a few weeks, the group feels much more active and influential. Thus, several admirers are already inquiring about that. Was Seth impeding the group's progress? Is Seth the component that was interfering with the chemistry there? And that's not meant as a slight on Seth Rollins. He is a fantastic person with a wide range of skills. It's simply that some people don't always mesh well with particular circumstances. It's similar to a team having a fantastic individual basketball player who simply doesn't mesh well with that particular team and its goals. He is not a horrible basketball player. Rather, he is not a good fit for the squad as a whole. And that is the question that fans are currently asking: is this group truly better off without Seth Rollins? Even some Seth Rollins fans on the internet stated that they couldn't lie and that the group feels better without him. This isn't to suggest that Seth should be fired from the group immediately, but perhaps they should start over and consider why the group functions so well without Seth and why they fall apart with him. If this group is going to stick together for the long run, there are some problems and disconnects that need to be resolved. After months of nothing, it's good to see the group finally take off, but supporters are hoping that whenever Seth returns, all of this momentum won't be lost. Although the exact date of Seth Rollins' return is still unknown, there are rumors that it won't be anything major and that he will make an unexpected appearance soon. There will undoubtedly be a lot to anticipate from Seth's squad on Monday Night Raw. Despite not having a direct bout at SummerSlam, Bayley has a compelling backstory leading up to the major event. In an interview with Raw on July 28, Bayley was rather depressed and talked about how she missed WrestleMania and how she was now missing SummerSlam as well. Bayley stated she couldn't think of anything to say and left the interview. It appears that Bayley is beginning to feel the effects of the lack of matches at the year's major events and that it is truly getting inside her brain. Many fans are worried that Bayley's current mental state would cause her to take another turn for the worse. In theory, Bayley hasn't been a babyface since 2024, so if she does it again, it won't last long. However, it's possible that she's simply recognizing that being kind isn't getting her anywhere. Perhaps she will be considered for all of these important shows again if she changes her attitude and begins to demand things once more. Although Bayley isn't competing at SummerSlam, many fans anticipate that she will make an appearance during the Becky and Lyra bout. Perhaps that's where Bayley also makes her comeback. There, Bayley is the center of attention. However, what do you think of the stories from today? Please share your thoughts below. Remember to subscribe with all alerts enabled, and hit like if you liked it. I appreciate you everyone watching. Tiffany Stratton, the current and defending WWE Women's Champion, is undoubtedly looking forward to a hectic SummerSlam weekend. The weekend will really get underway for her on Thursday at the Wine Rack in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. Even though her biggest event on the calendar is a title defense versus Jade Cargill on night 1 of SummerSlam this Saturday. On Tuesday night, Stratton took to X to share information about a meet-greet she was hosting at the Wine Rack in support of Seagram's Escape Spiked, a new drink line from the liquor corporation Seagram's. It's Tiffy time, New Jersey. Stratton posted a tweet. Please join me with Seagram's Spiked Escapes. Get your photos and enjoy the flavors of Seagram's Spiked WWE collaboration. No registration or tickets are required. I'll see you there. After the two parties reached a multi-year agreement at the end of May, Stratton's Seagram's sponsored meet-greet introduces 3 co-branded cocktails, further solidifying the partnership between WWE and the malt beverage firm. Fans must be 21 years of age or older to attend the meet and greet, which will run from 3 to 5 p.m. Although Stratton comes in with some momentum, she recently surpassed the 200-day mark as champion last week. It is unclear if the RR will help her before her fight against Cargill. Stratton has maintained her position as champion despite some difficult periods during her feud with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 41. She has successfully defended her championship 3 times against Flair, Bayley, WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus, and former champion Nia Jax.